Hi, Debbie here, aka Veil the Stitcher, and I am back with a cross-stitching update for you. It has been 7 days since my last update, and I believe I have met all of my goals from last week, which is great. So, we'll get right into it. So last week I was still working on Autumn Dream by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I was working in these berries up here. I had already outlined them, and my goal for the week was just to finish off that section. And so, what we have here is 40 Count Valor by Picture This Plus. And not only did I finish those berries up top, but I moved over into, let me see if I can, I moved over into this leaf, brought the frame down, and finished this leaf over here. And once I got going, I didn't want to stop. So that was, that felt really good to do. I finally feel like this piece has some decent progress on it, so very happy with that. It is going away for now because of other plans and goals I have, but it might come out again. That one is really fun, and I would love to have that done for next year, but we'll see. The next one I worked on was Yellow Polka Dot Bikini by Plum Street Samplings. And my goal was to get another 25% done on it, and I did that. So I'm stitching this for my mom. I've already stitched it once, but it got ruined by Hurricane Ian, so I am restitching it for her. This is a 25 count Lugana. It's just a raw natural color. I'm using all the called for floss, and this past time I had already done this part right here. And so I moved past the large dachshund and got all of this done. And this is the edge of the pattern. So this coming week, I would like to get another 25% on this side, and then it'll just leave the last 25% on the end. And with the amount of weeks left in November, that should put me right on track for finishing this in time to send to my mom for her birthday in December. So very happy with how that's coming out. And as with all, projects that have like little motifs in them, it gets addicting. Like you finish one motif and then you want to do the next one. And so the 25% goes by very quickly. So that's number 2. Number 3, we'll talk about, oh dear, my cat got a hold of this. We'll talk about Gypsy Queen. I am currently working on her skin. The last time, 2 times before I had finished her long arm, and then the last time I had done her shoulders and chest, and so I was working on this arm over here with a goal of finally getting up to her neck, to her face. So let's see where we got. Always have to show her in her full glory first. She's just so beautiful. I'm stitching her on 32 count chocolate, I believe, by Witchold. It's the called for fabric. And I did all the dress and pedestal first, and then worked my way up and finished all the normal crosses on her dress. Then did her hair and the feathers, the leaves in her hair. And then I decided to do her skin, which is what I'm doing right now. So that left arm, the long arm I did first, then her shoulder. And now you can see that her bent arm is all done, and I even backstitched it. So that's the first backstitching I have done on this project, but I wanted, because it was skin on skin with her hand there, I wanted to see the definition. So once I was done with that, I still had a little bit of time, so I have started working on her neck and face. So my goal next time is to get her face done and backstitched. And my long-term goal is to hopefully get her finished this year. That would be, like, amazing. So there she is. So beautiful. So she's also, of course, in my plans for this coming week, along with Bequeenie. And then the last one I worked on was Ex Machina by Chris Ortega, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I am 62.5% done. And my goal to the end of this year is to get to 182,000, because that will get me 100,000 stitches remaining for next year. And I'm still debating if I might use that as a really big goal for next year of finishing her. So right now, I'm ahead of the game. I needed to get to 176,000 was my goal, and I actually got to 176,730. So I'm at 730 stitches ahead. And my goal was to do, starting this past week, 1,000 stitches a week through the end of the year, which would kind of get me to my goal. So I'm ahead of the game, which is very easy to do, especially once you're getting close to a page finish and you just want to get that page done. I do have a picture of where it was last time, and I will put it over here. But first, there she is in all of her glory. And I know I say this every time, but honestly, I think there may have been like 1 or 2 pages that I dreaded getting done, like they took forever. But other than that, every other page has just been a joy to stitch, and I love, love, love working on her. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of other designs that I want to do that are full coverage, but considering I have not finished one yet, I really, really want to get a finish. So there she is in all her glory. So I will fold her up to show you what I was working on, and this will compare with that that progress picture. So, oh, that's not going to work. No, wait. Yes, it should work. She's getting hard to wrangle. Just go like this. Okay. So I'm putting her over here so that the before picture can go next door. And I've been working on this page right here. And the page ends like right here. So I just have some confetti over here, and then this patch is some lighter colors that haven't been in the rest of the page. So that's where I'm at. If I weren't still feeling so sick, I could have finished this page, but it just didn't work out. So that means that I should hopefully get a page finish this week on it. So that's my progress. I'm not a strict row by row type of girl. I mean, I will clearly work on the next row down, but what page I start with, I usually look at the composition of symbols and then pick a page that's calling to me. So it may not be a page that's right on the end. It could be part of her clothing or trying to finish off her arm or something like that. So once I finish the page I'm working on, I will determine which page I want to start with for the next one. So there she is. Love it. So those were the 4 projects I worked on this week, and I think I'm getting pretty good at making goals that I actually can meet, which is keeping my motivation up for continuing on these projects. So next week, I'll be continuing on Ex Machina, getting another 1,000 stitches hopefully. I'll be working on Gypsy Queen to hopefully finish her skin, and then I'll be working on Yellow Polka Dot Bequeenie to get another 25% done. But that leaves a slot open, and so I'm going to be starting, I'm going to be putting a holiday/Christmas piece in that slot. And with that in mind, I started going through what my current whips are for Christmas pieces, because I typically only work on holiday stuff like really close to the holidays. The rest of the year I'm just not in the mood. So I pulled out some pieces I wanted to show you guys. The first one is the very first finish I had this year. I finished this on January 2nd. Hold on. This is Plum Street Samplers Hello Winter. And I love all of these, but I think I like the Hello Winter one the best. And I also like that, you know, it's more seasonal and less like specific to a holiday. And I think that's what drew me to it. But I loved working on this. Once I started it, I couldn't stop. I think it took me about a week straight. I stitched this on 32 count Stormy Night by Zweigart. It's their gray companion to Vintage Country Mocha. And I do not believe I used all of the called for colors because I was using their DMC conversion and I just didn't like some of them. So I believe I just chose what I felt like, which I do not remember now, but I think it still holds true to the to what, you know, it was meant to be. So this will be definitely being fully finished, hopefully in the next few weeks, so I can actually display it this year. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to stitch. Another one I finished and actually needs a companion piece done this year for it is this piece inspired by Christmas Vacation. It says, "And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?" And the companion piece says, "I don't know, Margot." So this is stitched on 46 count white linen with, I believe, this is just a DMC 321 Christmas red. And so I want to stitch the other one this year and fully finish them into ornaments that I can hang up. So that'll be a project that you'll see at some point soon. The other one, this is my oldest holiday stitch that is not yet done, and this is called Happy Christmas by the Prairie Schooler. Now pay special attention to the tan houses in here. I did not like that they were tan, and I wanted to spruce them up a little bit to Christmas colors that I liked more. So I switched that color out for something else. I am stitching this on 32 count black linen. And this is all I have. How is that possible? And I stitched on this 2 years in a row. I did not stitch on this last year. But if you can see here, instead of a tan house, I've been using a light green that complements the dark red and the dark green. And I love how that looks. So I would love to get this done this year just because it's like my oldest holiday stitch. But I have to be in the mood to stitch on black fabric. And I typically do a lot of my stitching at night, which makes it a little more difficult to stitch on this type of fabric, unfortunately. But I think I need to maybe plan for stitching it like on a Saturday morning or something like that and see if I can get it done. I do like it that it's on a darker fabric. My decor typically leans towards like a more traditional, Victorian, older, dark wood, muted colors type of holiday. And so I love that this is on black fabric. And I think this would go really well with my holiday decor. So hopefully I can work on that this year. But what I will be working on this coming week is going to be a piece that I showed off like 3 episodes ago and then didn't stitch on. It is a Mill Hill buttons and beads kit called, the series is called Celebration Santas, and I am working on the Merry Christmas Santa. Sorry for the glare. There. So I only have like 1 or 2 days on this, and they weren't very long sessions, but again, I'm stitching this for my mom. I've already stitched her 1 or 2 Santas this summer, and now that all of her Christmas decor was destroyed by Hurricane Ian, I'm like I extra want to get this done. So right now, I have finished all of the white. And I'm working on the darker red. With pieces this small, as long as the simples connect pretty easily without having to count too far, I do like to get a frame in place of one color and then try to color complete these if I'm able to. So this is done on perforated paper, and Mill Hill was my introduction to stitching, using beads in my stitching, and I actually love it. I love the beads, which means I can't wait to do the beading on my Mirabilia. So I find these really fun to stitch. They're not that large, especially the ornaments. They're not that large, and you just get a really great satisfaction once they're finished. And typically what I do is I'll basically glue it to a cutout piece of felt with a ribbon hanger, and that's how I finish these guys. So I will show that off once I get it done, but this is going to get probably 1 day this week, and we'll see how far I get. So those are my plans. Showed you some of the holiday whips that I have going on. I will be starting a Blackbird designs one once I get the book in, which is, I believe it's called Home for the Holidays, and I would like to, I don't know what it's called, but there's a huge cardinal one in that book, and I would like to stitch that. At some point I will start Christmas Garden also, but that's so big, and I have some large projects that I would like to finish this year, so that might be a new start next year. So, other than that, I'm still sick. I hate it, but life goes on, and we keep trucking along, and honestly, as long as I'm not too sick to cross stitch, then, I can find balance in that. But, yeah, life is still complicated, and yeah, I'm starting a new class for my master's program. I'm doing them, they're individually, like compact 5-week classes, so I'm starting a new one up this past week, and it is so much easier than the one before. The one before actually made me question my decision to do grad school. That's how hard it was. But this one is like piece of cake in comparison, which I am so happy for. To give you an idea, I was doing about 32 hours per week on my previous difficult class. When they say you'll probably spend 25 hours per week in one of these classes. And this first week of this new class, I only had to spend about 10 hours to get through everything. So here's hoping that the class right before Christmas is nice and easy, because I'm going into a very busy work season right up to the holidays. So we'll see. But other than that, you know, I just wanted to thank everyone who's come back and everyone that has subscribed recently. I have had a few shout outs. I believe Amy Taylor has shouted me out in her most recent video. She's a rather new Flosstuber, but she works on some really awesome projects, kind of a mix, and so definitely go check her out. I was also shouted out by Needleberry. I can't remember her full Flosstube name, but Needleberry, she has like every single Mirabilia in her stash. She is a cross-stitch collector, and she gives me goals. I've been following her near the start of her channel, and she works on some really awesome pieces too, so definitely go check her out. And then I can't remember, I think there was one other Flosstuber who shouted me out, but I can't recall at the moment. But I just wanted to thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out what I'm working on, and any of the comments that you've posted. I just really appreciate it. I love this hobby, and it kind of has really helped motivate me to get my goal, like number one, to make goals, and number two, to get my goals finished each week. So I'm really enjoying coming back and doing this. So thank you everyone for your encouragement. So I hope you all have a great stitchy week, and I will see you again next weekend. In the meantime, you know, I hope you are able to find some stitchy time. So thank you. Bye.